let's be realistic. Let's look at what Oklahoma currently has, in that, defensive end room with Miguel Chavis. I mean, you're talking about guys like R. Mason Thomas, who's going to be a veteran going into his third season in Oklahoma, PJ Adebawore, Ethan Downs coming back for another year. I mean, this guy, we know that, he's going to come in, he's going to
Danny
work his
Okoye.
Danny Okoye, he's going to come
Yeah.
in, he's going to bust his at Nigel Smith, another one as well. This guy's going to come in, and you ultimately think that your best hope when you bring in guys from the transfer portal, they're guys that are going to be able to come in and at least find their way onto the field. They can be guys that can come in and make an impact. They may not be starters, but they can find their way into the rotation. They can get, 10, 15, 20 snaps a game. And I think, Adam, taking a step back and looking at this roster, particularly that position group, if Oklahoma takes that next step at the defensive end position going into 2024, where you've got PJ, you've got Ethan Downs, you've got RMT. I hate to say it, but if those guys play up to the level that we expect them to, I don't know if you're going to be able to see Caden Woolard be able to have that type of production. But on the flip side of it, I think that means that's great news for Oklahoma, because it means that those guys that are already on campus, it means that they've taken that next step. They're playing up to that level that they were, one of the reasons why they were so highly sought after, coming into this program.
I agree with you on all counts there. I want to look at that room and go, yeah, he's not going to play over Okoye because he's a beast. He's not going to play over PJ Adebawore because that guy's a beast. And Ethan Downs is a solid player. I'd like to be able to agree with you and say, like, yeah, I think that's for sure. Like, we've got dudes in our room that have been homegrown, recruited, and so forth, and it may be tough for them. But at the same time, I look at the past success here. Ethan Downs led the team in sacks last year, not just for defensive ends, but for all positions at 4.5. Caden Woolard more than doubled that with his time at Miami this past season. So there's definitely room. Like, no one's really seized, hey, this is my starting role and no one else can take that. It's very much up for grabs. So I'd like to think that, hey, there's some young guys in that room that really blossom in the spring and summer and become, all-American type candidates. We talked about this a lot last week with PJ of how, we probably had some unfair expectations for him in year one, and we think maybe he could take that bigger leap in year two as he becomes more accustomed just to playing the sport of football, and especially at the college level. But there's obviously there's room along that entire defensive line for someone to come in and seize an opportunity.